Today, I'm going to share with you 4 learnings from completing 75 Hard that can be applied to your coaching business. So if you don't know, I recently completed 75 Hard. Now, I have done this challenge before. If you're not sure about what it is, why it's important, and how it works, just Google 75 Hard and you'll learn the rules and the whole intention of the challenge. And it is a mental toughness challenge at the end of the day. That is the pure intention of it. So I did that back in 2022. I completed it first time try and I absolutely loved it. But this year I wanted to do it again, but on my own terms for my own intentions. So rather than it being a mental toughness challenge, I really wanted it to be an opportunity to build some long-lasting habits. So the original 75 Hard is quite intense. You have to drink a gallon of water every single day. You have to do 2 45-minute workouts. One must be outdoors no matter what. You have to stick to a diet of your choosing with no cheat meals and no off days or rest days or anything like that. You have to read 10 pages of a personal development book. And I think there's even a couple of other things that have lost my mind right now, but that is what it is. And whilst I did that the first time round and I got a lot out of it, that just didn't really feel desirable or necessary for me this time round. I wanted to do 75 Hard to build some long-lasting habits that I could actually be consistent with even after 75 Hard was done, because what I have come to the realization of this year is that my business has scaled so much and grown in the best way possible that I've actually built a lot of freedom for myself, both financially and time-wise. And what that has meant is that I travel and go away a lot more than I ever used to do. I have the ability to go to beautiful restaurants and do amazing experiences and treat myself so much more than I could 3, 4, 5 years ago and further beyond that, right? And so what I noticed this year is that whilst my circumstances had changed for the better, my habits and mentality around traveling and going away didn't. So typically when you go away for a holiday, maybe you go away once a year, if that, or maybe a couple of times a year, it's a treat, right? It's really special. And so you typically maybe eat a little bit more than you used to, or you don't exercise as much, you don't drink as much water, and your sleeping patterns change, and you go off the rails a little bit. I'm sure many of us are like that because it's a holiday, right? And that's how we view it in our mind. And I'm all for that. I'm all for moderation and having fun and living your best life. And my goodness, have I lived my best life. I have traveled to New Zealand. I have traveled to Fiji. I've traveled throughout Australia, and I've traveled all throughout Europe just in the year of 2024 alone, right? And so that has meant lots of treating myself. And whilst I have consistently lost weight all year, and actually over the last 2 years, I've been losing weight and loving my life and loving how I feel, I knew that I could feel better. I knew that I could look better. And I knew that I could have higher standards, and that if I continued with that mentality of, I'm on holiday, so I don't need to do all of those things, that has a compound and ripple effect in a negative way eventually. So I like to catch myself in problems and situations before they actually become a problem. I think that's a very smart way to go about things. And so whilst there was no problem just yet, I could anticipate that was what was going to happen. So I decided to do my own version of 75 Hard that would help remind myself and rewire my brain to recognize that when I travel, I still get to be consistent with my habits. And a good way for my brain to do that and learn how to do that is through a challenge, right? A really intense challenge, because that's just how my brain works. I thrive off running a challenge or having a challenge. And so that is what I decided to do. Instead of fighting my brain and what I know works for me, I decided to capitalize on it. So I decided to make my own version of 75 Hard and do it with 2 of my really good friends that I go to the gym with. And we all had slightly different rules based on what our own goals and priorities were. My rules were to drink 3 liters of water a day. I thought a gallon was a little bit too much for my body type. The next one was to have no processed sugar and no fried food. That was my diet of my choosing. So I could eat whatever and anything I wanted outside of that, but just no processed sugar and no fried food, because I don't believe those two things are necessary or helpful for my health goals or my health and energy and vitality. So I decided that to be that. And then instead of 2 45-minute workouts and one being outside, I just set a 60-minute workout. And whether that's entirely outside, whether that's entirely inside, or I end up doing double amount of that time, which I did many of the days, just accidentally or by default, then that's totally fine as well. So that was really what I decided to do. I did, no sugar, no fried food. I did an hour of exercise minimum a day, and I drank 3 liters of water. I believe that is it. I believe that's everything. And so, and it goes without saying, no alcohol is involved in this and no cheat days are involved in this. So that was my commitment to myself, and I completed it, and it was honestly easy. I should have called it 75 easy, and I'm going to get into why that is on the final point out of the 4 points today. So let me share with you the 4 lessons that I got from completing 75 hard with ease that can be applied to your business as well, okay? It's also really important for me to note that in the last 30 days of 75 hard, I also did a parasite cleanse on top of this, which was even more difficult than 75 hard, because then not only could I not have sugar or fried food, but I actually couldn't have sugar at all. That's how you kill parasites, is by removing that. And whilst I don't believe I have any parasites, I was doing this cleanse with my partner Geordie to support him with his parasite journey. So I actually then couldn't have sugar at all, not even like natural sugars like from fruit or honey or anything like that. Also couldn't have carbs because there's sugar in carbs. So now I couldn't have fried food, any form of sugar or any form of carbs. So I have been literally just eating meat and eggs and avocados and broccoli for 30 days straight. It's been intense to say the least. And coconut yogurt, that's my new favorite thing, and that officially feels like a treat to me, which is very sad. But it's very sustainable now. I'm feeling good about it. We're nearly finished with that cleanse as well, but I just wanted to add that to the mix, as that made 75 hard much more difficult in the last 30 days, but we still completed it. We're still here, standing strong and happier than ever. I've lost so many kilos from doing this 75 hard. I think I was at about 80 kilos when I started, and I'm at 72 kilos now, and I'm still losing weight every day, which is really cool. So feeling great, looking great. Here are my lessons. Lesson number 1 is to listen to your body. And I'm going to share the lesson and then share how it applies to business. So I learned through this process to listen to my body, to listen to my hunger cues, to prioritize nutritious foods that keep me full and satiated. And the reason why this has been so important is because when you're doing a parasite cleanse or 75 hard, and you're going to immerse yourself in environments when you're traveling or when you're out with friends or when you go out, and there's going to be things in front of you that you can't have, it's important that you nourish your body properly and look after yourself so that you don't have cravings and you're satisfied, so that you can tolerate being around food, distractions, whatever it is you cannot have. It's important that, you feel full and satisfied so you don't crave that. So I really learned to tune into my body of like, am I full? Am I hungry? And honor those needs. Whereas when I used to eat sugar and carbs in the past, it's like you're a bottomless pit. You can just keep eating it because you don't really get full from it easily. It's so addictive. And because that's been stripped away from my lifestyle, I'm really eating much more nourishing and filling foods. And I'm not just eating everything that's in front of me because it's addictive. I actually just stop when I'm full. And that's been an amazing experience. So I learned to listen to my body. Now, how this applies to business is that you've got to listen to your body in your business as well. You've got to trust your gut, right? It's important that you take advice from people that have the results that you want, and you listen to others as well, of course. But if something feels very, very wrong, very unaligned, and you've truly checked your integrity and your process around that, and it's just not what you want to do, then you need to trust that, right? It's so important to trust your body. And actually, whenever I've trusted myself in business, whilst also having mentors that I absolutely follow and listen to, I've gotten the most results possible. So sometimes I think a lot of coaches lack self-trust. They don't trust themselves, they don't listen to themselves, and then they wonder why they don't grow. It's very, very important that you learn how to trust your body. And listen to your body. So I have been going to bed really early. I've been, leaving my plate half full sometimes because I've been genuinely full, and I've started eating very nutritious foods and educating myself on that and being forced into the realm of only being able to eat nutritious foods anyways. But I've learned a lot, and I can really just listen to my body about what it needs now because I'm not distracted by addictive foods, distracting behaviors and anything like that. So I feel really present and in tune and in alignment with my body, which is really, really awesome. Interrupting this podcast episode quickly, because if you love this episode, then it would mean the world to me if you took a moment to screenshot this episode, sharing what you think on your Instagram stories, tagging me at Sophia Rose Bernardi so that I can reshare it. And if you do, I'll send you a special resource exclusive for my podcast listeners to help you grow and scale your business. Thank you so much. And now let's get back to the episode. Point number 2, lesson number 2 is that consistency is key. So it made me realize at a really deep level the power of consistency. So many people tell themselves that they are inconsistent in certain areas of their life. And, I was inconsistent with certain things in my life as well. But it was only when I went on this challenge and also cut out lots of foods from this cleanse that I realized how much I had actually broken my patterns of consistency and my habits. So what I mean by that is prior to doing 75 hard, I ate really healthy. I told myself I was very healthy. I eat mostly good all the time, whatever. But then as soon as I started 75 hard and this cleanse, I realized how many opportunities I'm presented with situations to eat some not so healthy foods or not as nourishing foods. And I know in those situations I would have eaten them. And it made me realize, wow, I sort of was lying to myself. I was telling myself I'm so healthy, but look how many times in a week or in a month I'm presented with an opportunity to not honor that or follow through with that. And so it made me realize that yes, I was progressing because more often than not, I eat very healthy and all of the things. But I realized if you want faster results, then you have to be more consistent and more disciplined, right? And so whilst I was losing weight and I was progressing and all of the things, I was going just at a slightly slower rate. Like I said, I've been losing weight now over the last 2 years because I've done it in such a sustainable way. I don't want to calorie count. I don't want to massively restrict. I just want to do it in a really great way that allows me to not say no to the things that I love in my life, like date nights and dinner dates with my friends and all of the things, right? And so I realized that I am getting much faster results now, and it's because I'm more consistent now and I'm more disciplined now because I'm doing a challenge and I'm doing a cleanse that doesn't allow you to here and there do it whenever you feel like it or start and stop. You either do it all or you fail and you quit, right? And so I realized that look how fast I'm progressing now when I actually follow through on what I say and when I'm super consistent. How does this apply to business? Well, so many people say, I'm doing everything. I'm doing all of the things. I'm trying the hardest I can. I'm following all the things you say, or I'm following all the things my coach says, and I'm still not getting results. But you're probably lying to yourself. I really, really, really doubt that you're actually doing everything you can. You're going absolutely above and beyond in all of the ways, and you're still not getting the results that you want at the rate that you want. And if you're aware, this is truly the max I can give right now, then you have to be okay with the pace that your results come at. And so like I said, my goal was, to lose weight, but in a sustainable way. And I didn't want to say no to the things that I love. So I also had to check myself and be okay then with my results taking a lot longer. It's been a 2-year weight loss and health journey rather than, 6 weeks because I was calorie counting and all of the things. I actually rather go about it the long way and enjoy the process. And so my expectations had to match that. But now that I'm doing something short term and temporary that's very intense, I've lost a lot of weight a lot faster, gained a lot of energy a lot faster, improved my skin a lot faster because I'm more disciplined. I'm doing more intense routes. So how that applies to business is that if you want faster results, then you have to play faster, move faster, be more disciplined and be more consistent. So that's a really powerful lesson for you that you can take into your business if you feel like you're not really giving it your all. If you want faster results, then you've just got to move accordingly. The third lesson that I've gotten from completing 75 hard and a really intense parasite cleanse is that you need to follow through even when it's hard, and then you will be rewarded. So if I had given up in the moments where I really wanted to give up, not that I ever truly contemplated that, but just the moments where I'm like, God, I would love to be able to eat this gingerbread house right now, or God, I'd love to just have a drink with my friends, or, even have a cup of tea. Like on this parasite cleanse, I'm not even allowed dairy and caffeine, so I can't have tea, I can't have a coffee, like the most basic things I cannot have. And that's okay. I've totally owned that. But there's been hard moments of that, of like, I've rocked up to events with a drink bottle, and I've gone to a wedding and not been able to eat any of the food there other than have a bottle of water. And that's hard. That's not fun. There's moments there where my partner and I look at each other and we're like, what are we actually doing here? But do you know what? We persisted and we've been rewarded in terms of weight loss, in terms of health, in terms of energy, and in terms of like just being proud of following through on the commitments you say that you're going to do. And what I've realized from this process is that most people don't do that. Most people don't do that, okay? The amount of times I've had people say, this is so crazy. How are you doing this? When are you going to quit? Come on, it's a wedding. Just quit. Just give up. It's absolutely insane how many times that's happened. And I don't judge any of the people that said those things to me. I don't blame them whatsoever, especially if you don't understand the intention or the why behind it. It could be really easy to just judge it and whatever else. But so many people have said that. And granted, I will also say so many people have said that's amazing, that's incredible, that's so generous of you doing that with your partner, and like, wow, you're so inspiring. Like, don't get me wrong, all of those comments have come as well. But the amount of people that have, said like, I would have quit by now, or, little comments like that, or the amount of people that do a cleanse and give up a few days in, do a diet and give up a few days in, say they're going to do something in their business and give up a few days in, or do 75 hard and then quit a week in or 2 weeks in. I've seen that more often than I've seen people actually accomplish things, right? And that's because when it's hard, people give up. When it's hard, people question it. When it's hard, people, quit. And that's not even an option for me. So if you follow through, even when it's hard, you will get the results that most people never get, okay? And it's just as simple as that. And most people don't have the results that they want because of this very lesson. And the fourth lesson that I'm going to share with you all today is that hard things are easy when you truly decide. So this is a bit of a follow-on from the last lesson. So it's actually really, really easy to follow through on something if you truly decide it. The problem is that so many people say, yep, I'm going to have a 10K month this month, or yep, I'm going to do 75 hard. But because in the back of their mind, they know that they can quit if they want to. Or in the back of their mind, they know that if it gets really hard, they can just play with their brain and their thoughts enough until they're like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to quit. I'm just going to give up. I'm going to start next week. I'm going to start next time. Or they insert whatever excuse they could possibly make up that's valid. And if this has been you, please don't take it as a judgment. Just take it as an opportunity to maybe check yourself and learn something there. And it's said with so much love. But so many people quit because they didn't actually truly decide to begin with. They had 1 foot in and 1 foot out to begin with. And because that's not me and how I roll, that's why I knew on day 0 of 75 hard that I was going to follow through. I knew on day 0 of this cleanse that I was going to follow through. And when I set certain goals, I know that no matter what, I'm going to follow through. Okay? And so it's actually really, really easy if you truly decide something and you don't give yourself the option to not follow through. When I'm, wake up in the morning and I want to go to the gym, I'm not even giving myself the conversation of should I go, should I not go? I just go. And because when you've actually decided something, you don't take up any brain capacity thinking about the alternatives, and then you actually just get it done. Go figure. So I knew that I wasn't going to fail. It wasn't even an option because I didn't make it one, okay? And so the problem with most people is they give themselves the option, and that's when their mind will get the better of them. So your body won't go where your mind doesn't push you, always. And that applies to business, of course, as well, in every area of your life. So I hope that you have loved these 4 lessons that I have gotten from completing 75 hard and a parasite cleanse. So in summary, they are: listen to your body, consistency is key, follow through even when it's hard, and hard things are easy when you truly decide. Hope you've loved this episode. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, so that you can be, right on time for new episodes where you're going to learn how to grow and scale your business the simple, sustainable way. I love you all, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye. If you enjoyed this episode and want my help to scale your coaching business much faster, then I want to invite you to join Scale School, the 12-month mastermind for ambitious female coaches ready to scale their business to 30K months and beyond the simple, sustainable way. Scale School is the only way to work with me. So if you'd like to learn more and see if this mastermind is for you, simply click the link in the show notes or come DM me at Sophia Rose Bernardi on Instagram to chat. Until next time, take care.